Good day, parents, teachers, and learners. Welcome to our Project SOAR series of online academic review of mathematics Clyde learning modules. I am Mr. Roy P. Haudalso, a teacher from Ilaya Barangka Integrated School, and I will be your reviewer for week 1 of grade 6 mathematics.
Ang ating aralin ay addition and subtraction of simple fractions and mixed numbers with or without regrouping. Let us first have without regrouping. How do we add or subtract similar fractions without regrouping? To add or subtract fractions with like denominators, if the denominators are already the same, then you're ready to add or subtract. Add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominators the same. Simplify or reduce the fraction if possible. If you end up with an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. Let us have an example. 1/5 plus 2/5. Add the numerators, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then copy the common denominators, which is 5. This answer cannot be reduced any further. Let us have another example. 2/15 plus 7/15. Add the numerators. 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Then copy the common denominator, which is 15. Our answer can still be reduced in lowest term. Now, how can we reduce 9/15 in lowest term? Step 1. Find the common factors of the numerator and the denominator. Factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9. Factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. The GCF of 9 and 15 is 5. Then, divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. So, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. And 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. Our answer is 3 over 5. Now let us have 9 over 14 minus 5 over 14. 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. Then copy the common denominator, which is 14. Now 4 over 14 can still be reduced in lowest term. The GCF of 4 and 14 is 2. So we divide by 2 to reduce. So 4 divided by 2 and 14 divided by 2 is equal to 2 over 7. Let's have 2 and 2 over 9 plus 3 and 3 over 9. First, add the whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Then, add the fractions. Add the numerators. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Then copy the common denominators, which is 9. Our answer is 5 and 5 over 9. Next, we have 3 and 5/7 minus 2/7. Since our subtrahend doesn't have a whole number, we can already copy the whole number on our minuend. That is 3. Then, subtract the fractions. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Then copy the common denominators, which is 7. Our answer is 3 and 3 over 7. Now, how do we add or subtract these similar fractions? Let us have 1/2 plus 3/7. We need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Now, how do we find the LCD of these fractions? Very good. We are going to list the multiples of 2 and 7. Now, the first number in common that appears on both lists becomes the least common denominator. Now the LCD is 14. Next step, make equivalent fractions. Now how do we make equivalent fractions? We are going to divide the new denominator to the previous one. Then multiply the quotient to the numerator. So 14 divided by 2 times 1 is equal to 7. 14 divided by 7 times 3 is equal to 6. Then add the numerators. 7 plus 3 is equal to 13. Our answer is 13 over 14. Let us have another example. 3 and 3 over 7 plus 1 over 5. Again, we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Let us list the multiples of 7 and 5. Now the LCD is 35. Very good. Then make equivalent fractions. So 35 divided by 7 times 3 is equal to 15. 35 divided by 5 times 1 is equal to 7. Then add the numerators. 15 plus 7 is equal to 22. Then copy the whole number. Our answer is 3 and 22 over 35. Next example, 2/3 plus 1/6. Again, we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Let us list the multiples of 3 and 6. Now the LCD is 6. Very good. Then make equivalent fractions. 6 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 4. 6 divided by 6 times 1 is equal to 1. Then add the numerators. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Our answer is 5, 6. For subtraction, let us have 3/11 minus 1/5. We need the least common denominator to subtract a fraction from another. Let us list the multiples of 5 and 11. Now the LCD of 3/11 and 1/5 is 55. Again, make equivalent fractions. 55 divided by 11 times 5 is equal to 15. 55 divided by 5 times 1 is equal to 11. Then subtract. 15 minus 11 is equal to 4. Our answer is 4 over 55. Let us have another example. 2 and 1/2 minus 3 over 10. We need the least common denominator to subtract one fraction from another. The multiples of 2 are, and the multiples of 10 are. Now the LCD of 1/2 and 3/10 is 10. Again, let us make equivalent fractions. 10 divided by 2 times 1 is equal to 5. 10 divided by 10 times 3 is equal to 3. Then subtract. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Then copy the whole number. Now the fraction can still be reduced in lowest term. 2 and 10 can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer is 2 and 1 over 5. Now let us have addition and subtraction of simple fraction and mixed numbers with regrouping. How do we add or subtract similar fractions and mixed numbers with regrouping? Let us have 4/5 plus 2/5. Again, when we add similar fractions, we only need to add the numerators, then copy the common denominators. So, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 over the common denominator, which is 5. As you notice, our answer is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. How do we change an improper fraction to a mixed number? Yes, we divide the numerator by the denominator. So, 6 divided by 5 is equal to 1, remainder 1. 1 will be our whole number, and the remainder 1 will be the numerator of the fraction. Then copy 5 as the denominator. Our answer is 1 and 1/5. Let us have 4 and 8/15 plus 9/15. Copy 4, then add the fractions. 8 plus 9 is equal to 17, then copy the common denominator, which is 15. This is an improper fraction, so we need to change it as a mixed number. 17 divided by 15 is 1, remainder 2, and that remainder will become your numerator over 15. So 4 and 17 over 15 will become 4 plus 1 and 2 over 15. Now 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Then copy the fraction 2 over 15. The answer is 5 and 2/15. What about in subtraction? Let us have 2 and 3 over 14 minus 5 over 14. As you notice, 3 over 14 is smaller than 5 over 14. Therefore, we cannot subtract 5 from 3. So we need to regroup 2 and 3 over 14. To regroup, let us borrow 1 from 2. 2 will become 1. Then add 1 that we borrowed from 2 to 3 over 14. That is 14 over 14. This is equivalent to 1. Then add. Copy 1. Then 3 plus 14 is equal to 17 over the common denominator, which is 14. Now 1 and 17 over 14 is equal to 2 and 3 over 14. Then rewrite the problem. 1 and 17 over 14 minus 5 over 14. Bring down the whole number 1, then 17 minus 5 is equal to 9 over 14. Our answer is 1 and 9 over 14. Now let us proceed in adding or subtracting the similar fractions with regrouping. Let us have the first example, 3/5 plus 2/3. Now we need the least common denominator to add these fractions. Now list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 5. Now the LCD of 3 and 5 is 15. Then make equivalent fractions. 15 divided by 5 times 3 is equal to 9. 15 divided by 3 times 2 is equal to 10. Then add the numerators. 9 plus 10 is equal to 19. Our answer is 19 over 15. Our answer is an improper fraction, so we need to change it into a mixed number. So we need to divide 19 by 15. So 19 divided by 15 is equal to 1, remainder 4. 4 will become the numerator of your fraction. Then copy the denominator, 15.